WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
You keep calling me, give you some love, you want all of it. I'm out here working, nigga, get a grip. I'm just trying to touch a million, you just wanna coexist. I say you clingy and you contradict. Give you my heart, you think it's counterfeit. Give you my word and you won't trust in it. What's the point of loving me if you don't know what trust is? I need the ease you give now. Please don't back down on me. I know you've got the Put your pride aside for me. Oh, 'cause I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me. That ease. While I'm out trying to get that ease. Know that I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me, baby. You're insecure, it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to get it and you keep on saying it don't enough, it's never enough. I put up with you for too long, now I'm over it. You want affection, I need money, I'ma call it quits. That is, that is, that is. Put your pride aside for me. That is, while I'm trying to get it, that is. Put your pride aside for me. Put it aside, put it aside, put it aside, put it aside, put it aside. Put your pride aside, put it aside. On me. Put your pride aside for me.
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show on week 304 Wednesday. Wait, did I hear you say Wednesday? I still ain't got to wipe down the chairs. Still, I ain't gonna lie, Riis be spraying down everything. I don't even know if they, way they do on week 304 Wednesdays. They might not even want to come and hear the way Riis be sanitizing this month. I be like, Dad, Riis, you gonna spray the doorknob too? Like, you gotta get the doorknob. I be like, Riis, you gonna spray the couch? Gotta get the couch. Riis, but the pillows. Yeah, nah, man, you gotta get the pillow. I be like, Riis, look, y'all, yesterday, Riis, check this out. Let me show you. I'm gonna tell y'all, look, this is funny. This was really funny to me. It really tickled me yesterday. So, y'all know I'm a stickler for the clock. Y'all know I be tripping on the time. Somebody else was talking about, you know what? I was at a congressional debate yesterday, and I realized somebody been Riis, let me back up. I was going to tell the Riis story. First, let me tell the Riis story, but Riis, don't let me forget about the debate that I was at yesterday. So yesterday, I checked my text. I get a text from DJ Riis the Ruler. It's like, I think it might be 11 o'clock. I don't know what time it was, but I know it was way past the time that I know if I looked at the time sheet and I saw Riis was in the office at that time, I'd be like, what was you doing, dog? Did you vacuum the floor? Because I still ain't seen him at the vacuum.
Ruthie sent you them pictures. Ruthie sent you them pictures. She ain't know.
What?
You ain't never get them? Oh, man, I asked Ruthie. I had vacuumed and everything, and she had recorded it and she wanted to send you the pictures.
She ain't done.
Yeah.
She ain't done. So anyway, I know if I would have looked at the time sheet, and I think Riis is now starting to get me, right? Because, so I get this text, and it's like I had left the garbage to get picked up. You got, because I had been cleaning out and throwing away stuff, and we trying to get kind of some order over here. And so it was a mess at the door, and I told Riis, don't worry about it. You ain't got to get it. I got the little homie going to grab it today. So Riis hit me, and he sent me a message before he leave, and he say, hey, yo, I'm about to leave, and the little homie ain't came yet, so I'm going to take the garbage out. But I want you to know I'm not on the clock. And I was like, see, that's a man after my heart. Now, see, that will make up for the times, because I'm going to tell you, it be times when I take Riis' check and I round it up, or I throw an extra couple hundred on there, or not a couple hundred. Maybe I throw an extra 100 on there, or something like that. He don't never say nothing. So
I appreciate it. I never even.
Exactly. I know. See, so then, that's why I be extra, like, when you be like trying to be like, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead. Did that say 50? Let me go ahead and throw that to another 100 and throw it like, let me put a little, right? You always be waiting for a dude to be like, hey, man, thank you. But you don't get that. So, I know. That's why I stopped doing it, right? So, but yesterday, Riis hit me with the, hey, man, I'm going to take out the garbage and do. He like, I'm going to do this for the team, and I'm not even going to charge you for it. And I was like, now, you see that? Now, that's what make a brother say, okay, so when it's an opportunity for me to throw something extra, then I'm going to be like, see, now you get it. It's reciprocal. So I was like, look at that. The young brother done learned something. I think Ruthie probably been coaching, but that's a whole nother story. That's good, though. That was a good thing. So, but anyway, Riis. So I thought that tickled me because it happened while I was at the forum. Shout out to Sib's Breakfast Club. I tried to get her to come on yesterday. She put on a great forum yesterday. It'd be spots, man, I don't even be knowing about. But anyway, I was at the forum, the candidates forum, and I feel like people be doing my stuff when I ain't there. Like they be doing and then I pop up and they doing my stuff in their speech, and I be like, now you got that from me. Now I ain't even trying to be funny, Riis, but I was straight up like, and it's funny because you sitting there, and then I went out, and I came back, and shout out to my man Dewan, who was like, hey man, they said the Angelina Young thing, right? And it was like, like people was like, hey, they used your, but it's great to see, your sphere of influence spread. Now, nobody's ever going to quote me They ain't gonna give me my, I heard on the Mace Jackson show. However, I heard my show going on yesterday, but it was a great candidate for him yesterday. Shout out to everybody who is actually out there running for office. Like, I know I haven't had the best personal relationships with everybody, but I do admire a lot of the people that are, mostly everybody that's out there getting out there trying to get their word out. I do think this is kind of crazy going on in the first congressional race, but shoot, everybody should have a chance to fulfill their dream. Who to tell you that you can't run, right? But it was interesting to see who got invited and who didn't. All right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Hey, y'all, it looked like the west side is the bet side.
You know it, man.
Riis, the west side, not the best, but the bet. Now, when it get the bet, see how I did that? See, y'all be clever, man. The west side is the bet. B-E-T. As in bet casino, get it? Like they say in the west side, gonna get the casino to bet, right? My genius is wasted. Anyway, west side is the bet side. Hey, man, they saying that it could go to River West. The Bally's Casino. When I look at the team, I think it's got the biggest spread. Now, Riis, this is what... Now, what was I saying all last week? Now, I know I probably should have started this, but it's still not too late. Riis, everybody need to get together. Everybody need to get together and be like, this is what we want to do. We want to be in the deal. Riis, now today we're going to talk about being in the deal. Because I don't think that, I think we got to figure out, New Chicago is here. So we, dog, if they put that casino down, hey, Joe, it's finna be billions of dollars being generated, and we have to figure out how we're going to get in the deal. I was thinking, if you see the casino and you say you see protest, instead of saying you see opportunity to participate, that's where I think we got to get our paradigm right. So we're going to talk about getting in the deal at the 7 o'clock hour, because I think there's a different way to approach this cat. All right? It's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler on a Week 304 Wednesday. Now, I call it Week 304 Wednesday because it's in memory of, not in memory, but in honor of my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, and my girl, Toy, who is in the middle of a love triangle with Spirit, JetBlue, and Frontier. I really, one of these days I'm going to call Toy up. I'm going to say, call in and tell us who you picking. Now, I heard that her beloved Spirit is trying to get with Frontier, but JetBlue is making a play. So we're going to have to figure out how that's going to work out. I want to ask Toy, how does she pick? Man, Riis, do you ever read this girl's social media post? Do you read her Facebook? I promise.
That's why that's my co-host, man.
Man, I promise, man. I hope her mama is not. I hope she got a different name for her mama. I hope her name is Mama, I love you. You know how people be like, Toy, Mama, I love you, right? Norwood. I hope it's something like that. Somewhere else. Yeah. I hope our mama don't see
Toys, God's child.
Right. You know how they got that. the blessed Virgin Mary Toy, right? Dog,
it is my family page. Don't write that on there. Here's somebody was hey, you
know,
right. Not this page. Don't tag this page.
I swear to God, I said if I ever saw a package from Toy coming to my house, everybody getting ready to have problems. Everybody. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. All right, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show on a Week 304 Wednesday. Riis, it's just me and you today. We ain't got no guests. So let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Let's get this thing up and away. Oh, don't forget. Today at Sunnyside, up by Wrigleyville, Brother Tyrone Muhammad is going to be kicking it off. They got a versus, support your local weed man versus Sunnyside Dispensary. Who you got in this battle, Riis?
I'm gonna take Ty.
You better take Ty. Dog. Can I just tell you yesterday, the funniest thing in the whole entire world? Not funny. Hey, man, When Tottenham roll up, they be rolling up like the army, dog. They came to the forum like 25 deep. Like cars, dress, man, bro. Crazy. Not crazy. It was just funny because it's like an interesting presence. Now, what I want to see is like we got to do, man, bro. I was just thinking. The men organizations, shout out to Inglewood Political Task Force, Inglewood Together. Shout out to Tyrone. Man, it's like all of the people that's doing it. Riis, we just gotta talk. Like, right? So it don't be no misunderstanding. So we gotta understand. Hey, Riis, do you remember when people used to say, we just gotta get an understanding? I think that's an out west thing. Is that out west or is that universal?
It's probably universal, but you know.
It's perfected out west.
Yeah, you know how it is.
We need to get some understandings around these pods. Not that I'm telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying. Like, remember how Labor said, ain't nobody get nothing till we get something? We need to know whatever. Riis, today, I'm going to have a lesson. At 7:00, we're going to talk business. Is that okay? Like, is it all right? Is it all right if I take off my angry black man hat at 7:00 and put on my capitalist pig hat, and then y'all could practice? We could be pigs, and then y'all could practice to be compassionate if y'all want to. Can we please talk some business at 7:00? Now, I know I'm going to be putting a lot out. Y'all going to be like, Maze, why you putting the business? Because y'all not going to listen to me one-on-one. So I'm just going ahead and put this out here because I have listened to everybody talk us out of why we should keep on talking ourselves out of the deal instead of in the deal. Does that make sense? Like, it seems like we talk ourselves out of the deal instead of in the deal. And I feel like every time there's an opportunity, not every time, I do feel like when we see something like this in the paper, we lace up our boots to get ready to go fight. I would rather sit down with everybody's proposal, put it in a big old binder, and be like, let's prepare to eat. Let's prepare to feast on this multi-year, life-changing opportunity. And instead of the business being how to keep us out, the business be how to get us in a meaningful way. Does that make sense? Because I think sometimes we forget that the goal of the protest is to participate. So I would just like to talk about that a little bit later. All right. So, but in the event that Bally's comes to the west side, there's a lot of other factors that we're going to have to watch play out in this, or watch or participate depending on how we play. Because I think it's going to be race issues. Already we're seeing it. White people ready to be like, man, we'll give up everything before we let the black people win that one. Now, the black people got to figure out how we in on the win, though. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Riis, let me ask you a question. This is a serious question. Would you buy Chicago tap water in a can?
Why is it in a can? Is it like something new they trying to try something?
The mayor's about to pop off Chicagwa. They're going to sell commemorative cans of Chicago water in it's water week. It's water preservation week. But they are, Riis, selling what they're calling Chicagwa, which is canned Chicago water. Tap water. Like, we're going to talk about it.
What they saying?
We're gonna talk about it. Cause hey man, when I lived in Bolingbrook, we used to beg to get Chicago water. It would be like, man, you ain't got no Chicago. Chicago got the best water. So people all around the country brag on Chicago water, but like they gonna sell it to Chicagoans.
You know it, and we gonna buy it too.
Riis, I feel like I gotta buy it just so I could be like, I can't believe we're selling our Riis. Can you imagine that the fact of the matter is they're going to go take the water that we get out of the tap, out of the faucet, put it in a can, decorate the can, and sell it back. And I do feel like I'm obligated to buy one just because I can't believe we're gonna do this. It's okay though. It's okay. We're gonna talk about it. Cause I just need to know how y'all going. I don't want to be in this fight and y'all and the black people already going. Like the mayor, I feel like y'all go. I've been going to meetings and people be like, "Woo, the mayor talking real good now." A week away from the election, it's like I don't really want to keep on. I don't want to keep fighting with y'all. If y'all want, like, you know how when somebody have you ever had somebody just determined to jump off the cliff and you be like, "Come on, man, let me save you again." And you be like, "Nah, we gonna jump. I'm determined to jump." And sometimes you just gotta be like, "Okay, go."
Let's go. I see. You want to see it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead and bust your
Go
head.
ahead.
Bust your head wide open to the white.
But I'm not gonna be poor while you do it. So I'm about to stop fighting for y'all. If y'all ain't fighting for y'all, if y'all ain't mad about Engineer Young, neither am I. If y'all can forget, I can forget. I'm forgetting. Y'all around here tripping. Chicagwa. And it's gonna work, Riis. Hey, Riis, do you remember Olin Cruz? Oh, you ain't no Bears fan. Man, Olin Cruz was like the nastiest offensive tackle we had, boy. That dude would get into a fight with everybody. He was one of Lovey's top offensive linemen when the Bears was like, Super Bowl bound Bears. Anyway, Riis, he choked out one of his coworkers. Like he's a regular like how he used to come on the show regularly. He ain't employed there, but they was in a staff meeting talking about the show, and he choked out one of the co-hosts. Football player. Like, Olin Cruz is like 6'6", 3. Nasty, mean, but boy, you loved him as a Bear, dog. Whew. When the Bears was nasty. But as nasty as the Bears could be. And he was like the epitome of it. Riis, he choked out the dude at the job. They trying to stop him from getting canceled, though. They like, man, sometimes it happen. Remember when Kendall Gill stole on old boy in 2013? He stole on a white boy after the show. He punched him dead in the face.
Man, they be trying. They be like, listen here. They'll say something slick. You be like,
Olin Cruz
okay.
Olin Cruz put out a text message, a tweet to reply. He said, man, sometimes people be getting too comfortable on social media, think they can say stuff and forget they in real life. He got choked out.
Well, dude got a check, I guess, if he got some money.
Hey, dog, I'm telling you, like if you sit in a meeting, I do think that people think there's an invisible social media barrier sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let that be though. Choked them out. Chicago is COVID medium, Riis. That means that we got a medium amount of COVID and we're on our way. They're saying we might be having to go back to mass. Speaking of mass, Riis.
Oh no, Will.
Riis.
Oh, Will.
I'm beating the brakes off Will. I am when I see him now. Like, I am.
That's not
everybody. No,
that's not his department.
Hey Joe. Hey Joe. This got your name on it. It got the Will I Am mask.
It's like
I am trying to be a superstar.
It's like if he sold like a May Jackson product at TV. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really his own. You know what I'm saying? Like it's his name on it, but it's not.
Riis, $300 for a mask, dog.
He got that for you. Get it back.
It's still on my Shopify app as in tracking.
But where is it? That's my point. Like it don't say being delivered in transit. None of that.
It do say in transit. It's been in transit for 6 months.
It don't tell you like.
No, I can't track it. No. I'm Will.i.am, dog. Man, when I see Will.i.am, Joe, I'm buying the concert
war
ticket.
Delayed, man. That war
Joe,
delayed.
you seen I'm Will.i.am finna get Will Smith. I'm telling you, Joe. I'm gonna buy a ticket to the concert. Him, Fergie, and Dude gonna be up there. Everybody! My damn mask.
And he gonna have a mask on.
Hey, right.
Yeah, get y'all a mask. One of these.
I mean, I'm still tripping that they sent me the thing to get the upgrade.
Yeah,
I was like,
they thought you might wanted the upgrade version. So
I want my damn mask. My mask, man. Hey, Riis. Shout out to the Southsiders. Beat the Cubs 3-1. Beat them 3-1. It's cold outside, Riis. I don't know if I would. I mean, I think I'm glad my frat brothers had a brotherhood building event coming this week with the Cubs and White Sox Crosstown Classic. I was like, man, should I get tickets? I'm so glad I didn't. It's cold. Riis, the Chicago is officially bidding for the DNC. Riis, do you think people, when they see that so let me ask a question. Chicago is bidding for the Democratic National Convention. I want to ask you, when you hear that, do you say, we're going to have to protest that? Or do you say, we about to get paid? I want to talk about that again, because I know that somewhere in our universe is going to be, we need to protest the Democratic National Convention. But I feel like we need to participate in the Democratic National Convention. Have you ever been to the Democratic National Convention? Do you know how much money gets spent? Riis. You ever imagine every party is like getting a seafood. Every time you go to a party, the seafood tower look like you at Joe's. Like, bro, can you imagine if at the DNC that was the black people first suite or headquarters? Like, everybody in politics opens up a station and then they have their events and the whole world is like, we can make an international presence over the course of a week. Do you understand that, Riis? Do you know that the United Center got built because of the DNC? Mm-hmm. Yep, sure did. That is what birthed the West Loop, which is now the Loop. We're going to talk about that too, because I do think that the West Loop is now the center of the city. Like, Riis, with Water Tower and all the rest and all the places leaving off of Michigan Avenue, the place to be in Chicago is the West Loop. And then you add this casino, Riis. All that stuff, there will be nothing left downtown except City Hall. It's going to be like Atlanta's downtown, Riis. It's going to be like the West Loop is like Buckhead. You know what I mean? Have you been? You know how it is in Atlanta. When you go downtown in Atlanta, you be like, we're going to stay downtown. You be like, what the hell is this? I feel like our downtown is on that way. Look, Riis, we got to figure out how we going to get in the deal. So at 7 o'clock, we're going to talk about getting in the deal. In the meantime, the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to welcome the Saints from WBGX plus the Sinners. And we're going to have the social media question of the day. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
It's official West Suburbs and Chicagoland area. The Naperville Soul Fest is back, featuring a live performance by Avery Sunshine and Carl Thomas on Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul, Selena Johnson, and Riis On stage Saturday, June 4th at Napier Settlement, located at 523 South Weber Street in downtown Naperville. If you missed the last Naperville Soul Fest, you don't want to miss this one. Get your discounted tickets on Eventbrite or visit NapervilleSoulFest.com for more event details. For vendor opportunities with access to over 7,000 attendees, text 630-202-6431. That's 630-202-6431. Spend your first weekend in June at the Naperville Soul Fest with Avery Sunshine Friday, June 3rd and Kindred the Family Soul on Saturday, June 4th. Check out NapervilleSoulFest.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the black people media? This is Riis the Ruler coming to you with Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather updates. We head over to sports. It was the White Sox and Cubs in the Crosstown Classic battle. White Sox, Tim Anderson would homer, as that will be enough as the Sox beat the Cubs 3-1. Set over the traffic on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 21 minutes, 17 minutes back to O'Hare. On the Edens from Deerfield to Lace Change and back will be 27 minutes. Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 39 minutes, 30 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 40 minutes. Outbound will be 30. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 39 minutes, 26 minutes to I-80. On the Dan Ryan is 21 minutes to the Loop, 13 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Glacier Drive South, 55th to Jackson will be 7 minutes and back. And 8 minutes north Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr to Randolph. Today's weather, it is currently 43 and mostly cloudy. Today will be a high of only 48 with a low of 41. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy hump day here on The Maze Jackson Show.
To the grave, from the grave, back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. I am your host. That's right, and it is about 6:39 now. Right at about 6:30, the lights come on. They like we be messing around till about 6:30. Then remember when it be like then it be like whoa, whoa, whoa. Riis, I'm getting my old school back, right? So it was you know, you start to whoa, 6 o'clock, 6:30, we get the rumbling.
The engine up, you know
man.
What I'm saying? You gotta like start it up at 6 and you know
yeah, you start it up 6:30. You get out there, Riis, you stomp the pedal, it be that's right, y'all. So it is. That's just how it is right here on the Maze Jackson Show. That's how the plane go. So when we be getting up to 60,000 feet, I know it sounds like we get to about 30. Then we get to about 60, right at about 6:30, and that's when the Saints from WBGX 1570 come on. Because, you know, the closer we get to God, the closer we get to the Saints. So we want to thank everybody that tunes in, everybody from 6:30 to 8 o'clock every day on WBGX 1570 AM. You can also get us on the TuneIn app during those same times. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Now, if you be rolling in the back with the sinners, Riis, you like, look, when you get on the bus, when you get on the plane, and you got open seating, it's the people that stop, it's the people that don't even look to the back. Because you remember when you used to get on the bus and get to the back, and at the back, that's when the rowdy kids was. It was cracking in the back. Now, don't be a lame and get stuck in the back, though. Like, if you was in the lame crew, you had to get on the bus quick. Because what you did not want to do was get crossed past that line because the sinners sat on the back of the bus. And that's kind of how it is on the Soul Plane. Now, they get on at 6 o'clock. And what we do is we tell them they got to go to the back. We just say, go on straight to the back. Because we got to save seats for the saints. But so every once in a while, the sinners overwhelm the saints. And they got to mix up the crowd. But the sinners get on at 6. They stay till 9. So if you get stuck, the saints have to get off a little early. They got to take a little time to get down to their seats. We want to make sure. You know how it be when we went to Springfield, right? We was like, we got to let the saints eat first. So we let the seniors go get their place. Because, the sinners was like, man, I'm hungry. We've been walking around all day. I was like, sinners, hold up. Got to let the saints. That's just how we do every day, 6 to 9 if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Now, you can come to either one. You can join us any way you want to join us. But just know what you're getting. You start at 6, you might catch a little something. You stay after 8. You might hear some things you might not be a little prepared for. But because we know we got so many young people on the way, I'm trying to chill on that too. Don't forget though, 16th Riis. What's that, 2 weeks? A little less than 2 weeks. We're going to 3 to 6. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day. The Maze Jackson Show will be moving to the afternoons. We're going to make a radio spot like that. It's going to be, check us out every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Y'all with it? Y'all coming with me? Do I have to build back up to being the king again? Well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I hope y'all join me. 3 to 6, starting on the 16th of May. All right. Riis, I don't think we hit this in a minute, but go ahead and find it for me. You ready? I want to get the big voice because I'm ready to do it. Let's go.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Has partisanship gone too far with the Supreme Court leak? Y'all, I'm going to keep talking about this Supreme Court thing. Only because as the highest court in the land, it's the final decision point unless they make a law, but laws can be challenged. Riis, did you realize that it is 6-3, a 6-3 conservative court? You know how everybody was running around talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson? Because we was all excited. The fact of the matter is, no matter. And then yesterday, somebody said, well, don't it make sense? Doesn't it? They doing this before the sister even get there. I actually think she's there. But not only, Riis, the court is 6-3 for conservatives. 6-3. 6-3. 6-3. And the court appointments are lifetime. 6-3. Riis, this ain't the first thing that's happening. But before we get there, the question I have to ask you is the leak of this draft. So let's say that the Supreme Court is the highest court in the whole entire land. And can I, let me ask a question and say that I believed up until maybe the storming of the Capitol that certain institutions in the United States were sacred. I know y'all gonna be like, Maze, this is America. And I know I'm in the black land of black lands, but I did feel like until I saw the Capitol stormed, I didn't think that could happen. Not could, would. And I believe that the subsequent response to that has been weak. Which gets us to where we are now, where there is a leak in the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, yesterday, some of you were saying, well, it's only a draft. Do we know it's real? Well, yesterday, head of the Supreme Court, Justice John Roberts, confirmed that that was, in fact, the document. and he has commissioned an investigation into the leak. Now, for all intents and purposes, I believe that the leak, this is just 100% pure speculation, but the leak really only benefits Democrats. Well, initially. And in the short-sightedness of trying to protect this election, or trying to stop the bloodshed that is going to happen with this election, and I'm not talking about murder, I'm talking about political bloodshed, because the Democrats are going to get mollywopped. The Democrats are going to get mollywopped. I do think that this leak will motivate women to come out and vote. Maybe even so much so that it may stem the tide of this midterm election, because I do believe that this is a very important issue to women, and I do think it's going to stop them in their tracks. But I also believe that if it is discovered that a Democrat leaked the Supreme Court draft that has been confirmed as official, and it is found out that a Democrat did it, I would argue that Republicans will liken that to the same as the storming of the Capitol, in that there is no sanctity in the court. Excuse me. Not no sanctity in the court, but there is no, everything is fair game at that point. At the same time, if they are not successful, you will then see Republicans have a majority in the House and the Senate, and the ability to pass laws and use this example of the leak to further limit personal freedom. I feel like we just jumped on a slippery slope. So here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I believe that a Democrat leaked this. Someone in one of the Democratic offices got political and leaked this document. This is setting off a firestorm around the country with women, which I think they hope will be enough to stem the tide of what could be a landslide Republican midterm. I'm not going to say that it may, I'm not at a position to say that it won't. But what I am also saying is that if after this investigation, it is discovered that a Democrat appointed justice, a liberal justice, leaked this information, Republicans are going to be able to point to that. Republicans are going to point to that as an opportunity to discredit Democrats and discredit the legitimacy of to damage Democratic. See, I feel like they're going to, it's like, you know how Democrats and Republicans do the same thing, and Republicans are very good at mastering how to turn it around on the Democrats. They're going to turn this leak around on the Democrats. And it is going, in my estimation, to result in a further backlash. And with a 6-3 court, I think that Republicans will be punitive and start to advance their issues and force them to the court, where they have a 6-3 majority. And while people are saying Biden should be able to add more people to the court, Biden has to be able to add more people through the court. Through what? through the legislature, who will be controlled by who? The Republicans. Now what will be important is the veto. Will they have a veto-proof majority? Because now we're going to get to block and stop, pass, veto. Because the Republicans will have the House and the Senate. And anytime, does anybody get where I'm going here with this? See, I feel like the Democrats were short-sighted in saying, okay, let's leak this information and let's get our base fired up. But long term, they will be penalized for this, and we're going to pay a price. The court is 6-3. 6-3. Like, y'all, that's a whole generation. That is 25 to 30 years of gradual erosion of rights through a legitimate process. And if the leak in it was from a Democrat, the Republicans will raise it to a high enough level that it will be equivalent to the storming of the Capitol in the breach of the American people's trust. Does that make sense? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. See, I feel like Republicans have mastered the partisanship game. Democrats try to play it, and then they done sprung a trap on themselves. Right? Like, we gonna get to say, aha! Republicans are gonna point to this and say, this is why we need to clamp down. If I was a Republican and I found out that a Democrat leaked, I would be calling for that person to be sanctioned or to be tried to be removed from the court. I don't know what that process is, but I sure am going to make holy hell about the Democrat and whoever staffer it was that did it. And then I will pass laws to shut those leaks down. Now, remember how Donald Trump wanted to prosecute leakers? Remember how they wanted to persecute leakers, but they didn't have the platform? Well, now you'll be able to take this issue to the Supreme Court, where you have a 6-3 majority, and whoop ass. No, so again, I do think this is going to be a rallying cry for Democrats short term. But I don't know that it's going to be enough, because I don't think that it's going to stop places. Now, in places like Illinois, I think we're in an insulated position. And so I'm saying, I don't know whether you leak. I don't know that the leak changes anything for Democrats. Now, maybe it does. But I don't know that it saves them from losing the House and Senate. And if they lose the House and Senate, and if they lose the House and Senate with a 6-3 court, they gonna get cooked. Because Republicans they ain't worried about no political correctness. Now, I just need for y'all to just pay attention to it. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Has partisan politics gone too far with the Supreme Court leak? Caller, you're on the Mays Jackson Show. What do you think?
Good morning, Mays Jackson. Byron here.
Byron, you starting early this morning, dog. What's up, Mr. Vice President? How you feeling?
Good. The Fed's about to raise interest rates. I don't think people understand what that means. That means you're just going to pay more for everything. Right?
Right.
See, inflation is the key. And that's Supreme Court ruling. In Illinois, we pay through our tax dollars for anybody in the United States to come to Illinois and get an abortion. So why would women in Illinois be worried about that, but that Supreme Court ruling? They can have any abortion they want, and we're going to pay for it. Am I correct or wrong?
Now, I don't understand how we going to pay for it.
Because the governor signed a bill that said all abortions in Illinois are paid for by the state.
Really? In Illinois?
Yeah, in Illinois.
What? Okay,
People from other states can come to Illinois and get a free abortion.
So, Byron.
I think California's the same way too. All those Democratic places, they can have their abortions, and the states can pay. Most of the states can pay for them. So I don't see why women in Illinois have no problem with the ruling, because it's going to be a state issue, right? Each state is going to make their own rules, which it should be. That means the people of that state get to choose what direction they want to go in. You want people to pay for it? You pay for it. We are paying for abortions in Illinois.
Wow.
And for kids who want them, there's no parent notification for kids. They can have it. The parents don't have to know.
So
do you realize that?
I did not realize that, but I guess my question is, Byron, so you believe in states' rights?
States' rights, correct. That means the people get to choose.
So what
happens? People of that
state
get to choose.
So right, Byron. So, but that precedent then follows in the grain of, do the people of that state in South Carolina really want to have black people equal?
But man, you keep focusing on that. The people of that state get to choose what they want for that state.
So what if they want
slavery?
What if they want slavery? I'm saying, Byron. If the people, okay, go ahead.
But slavery is outlawed. But
that's outlawed federally.
In the United States.
But it's because of federal. It's outlawed federally. Now, if I decide that I want to introduce a bill in a state,
right,
and my state says, because there are states that are, challenging. If they decided that they wanted to bring, and they could pass it in their state legislature and say that they wanted to bring back Jim Crow laws, there's no the federal.
It's
they
going
can
to
do
the Supreme Court.
To the Supreme Court, that's 6-3. That's 6-3 conservative. That is
but there's precedents. The Constitution says you can't have slavery. I'm just telling you, the Constitution says you can't have slavery, and they can rule against it.
Okay, so Byron. So all I'm saying is, because I do want to ask you, do you think that Democrats have gone too far in leaking this information from the Supreme Court?
Yes. Of course, but that's not their problem. Their problem is the Hispanic voters. The Hispanic voters are leaning Republican. So you guys don't realize that. Black folks are going to be the last people on the plantation getting screwed. The Hispanics are going Republican. Ask Riis. He knows it. It's like 45-45. It's a toss-up. Normally, most Hispanics go Democrats. It's like most blacks. You see the poll for blacks going Republican? It's coming down. Biden got 85% in the last thing. Now it's like 60%. The number of black folks going Republican is getting higher and higher. Democrats are going to get Wally Wop, no matter what they do. I don't care what they do. They can cancel everybody. But once that election comes around, you see what happened in Ohio last night? That guy that Trump endorsed, he came up big time. See, people keep saying all that red man, the orange man. Y'all keep using this nonsensical terms. Get on the train. We can get more
be on the train,
Byron.
The train. I don't know if I want to get on this train. I'm just a little nervous. Bro.
No, the problem is the train that we on, we getting zero. I'm just telling you, zero doesn't sound good to me. Look at Illinois. Everything done in Illinois is done by Democrats. Are we better off? Yes or no? Everything that's done in Cook County and the city of Chicago is done by Democrats. Have we saw progress? Tell me, May, be truthful. Have you seen any progress?
No, I have not. But I'm also gonna say
but you can't use that stuff. You got spread out. When you do your lobbying, you don't care who's lobbying. You want to know, hey, you can pay me, yes or no. Let's get some payback for something. Let's get off the train.
You think you're gonna get some payback from the Republicans? And I don't even want to be Republican. I just think
make a deal.
Make a deal.
But
what's the deal,
Trump wanted to give you a plan. Trump wanted to give you a plan, and you refused to try to take it. So you want to stay in the same train and look at our situation. Our situation is worse. Our situation is worse.
It is. It is, but I just don't know about the. I don't.
Man, you gotta stop that. You in the old school thinking. Keep standing on the plantation. Keep standing on the plantation. Oh, Master's gonna be good to us. No, Master is our problem.
I want to be good.
No,
I want to
Master
be
is our problem.
I don't want to be with Master. I just want to be on my own plan. Like, I feel like we got to come up with our own plan that is separate from these people, man.
No, right. We can do for ourselves. I keep telling you what that do for ourselves. That's the baseline for everything. We got to start employing our own people, asking our people to do things for us so we can circulate the money in our own community. That's the baseboard, okay? But outside of that, we keep asking Democrats to give us. We can't ask Dick Durbin to help us, Tammy Duckworth to help us. You think they care about you?
No, I don't.
Man, do you think they...
But do you think that... Do you think Mitch McConnell cares about you, though?
I don't care what he cares about, but if I can get 5% from him, I'm going to take it. Because the zero is not good. If he gives me 1%, 5%, 3%, 1.5%, it's better than zero. You must change your thinking, Maze. The people you need to negotiate with, they don't even like you, but they can make money from you, right? They can get a better deal from you. That's why they come to you, Maze, because you get stuff done. You get your stuff done. You don't care who the guy is. Most of the guys you deal with are racist anyway. But you don't care because why? They pay your ass. Don't they? Don't they always come through that check?
Democrats and Republicans, man. I told you that. I've been to a Trump.
You try to clean up.
No, check it out.
You know for sure what they are.
Here go my thing. I feel like you're not getting ready to get me arguing over which white boy is racist or not. You're not going to get me to have that argument, right? Like, I start with the premise that across the line, they are working with me only because they can use me. Not because they're like, ooh, I want to help Maze. It's like, you're not going to get me to argue which white boy is more racist. You're just not going to get that. Byron, but I don't know.
Maze, they're using you because you're good at what you do.
Byron, would you buy slaves?
You're good at what you do, Maze.
Byron, if you lived in a slave state and you had a choice, would you buy a slave?
No, I would not buy a slave.
Not even if it was a white one?
Nope.
Dang, you tripping. It's the Maze Jackson Show. All right, y'all, we come back. That's my man Byron. He is the vice president of Phone Club. We got any more callers, Riis? All right, we're going to take the callers when we come back. Plus, we're going to talk about the West Side is the bet. That's not best. Bet side, right? Is Bally's going to the West Side? All right, y'all. Just think, Riis. Remember what Chicago Ave was? Remember when the Ave was the Ave? Now it could be Bally. Bally who?
Is that why because like, have you driven down Chicago Avenue recently and see? Okay, I don't want to know. I was looking like Chicago Avenue looking pretty nice even in the hood.
A Bally who? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the Ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Look, and check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the trap house where he was tipping. Got the drugs from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and tried to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Back, put this country together and gave him hella aid. Lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They paid the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres. You can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, for sterilization, Tuskegee experiment. Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on. Was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn. We definitely earned it. So make my payment high. Tell the government to cut them reparations. Make them high. Not no SBA loans. Just run the bread. Make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations. Make them high. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it high. Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Riis the ruler, Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
Church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now of the politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something. We gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed us all.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on a week 304 Wednesday. And I'm asking, has partisanship gone too far with the Supreme Court? Now, after this, we're going to talk about the West Side is the bet side. And then I want to talk about the concept of getting in the deal. Because there's the West Side is the bet side with the Bally's Casino plus the DNC. And it was funny because I was thinking there was a time when I woke up and I would read those things in the paper and I would be licking my chops for the opportunity to participate. And the more and more I get black, I wake up and be like, am I supposed to protest? And I remember when the goal was to get in the deal, not block the deal. And I think we got to really think about where we fit in that. But in the meantime, I want to go back to this issue of has partisanship gone too far with the Supreme Court? One of my off-air producers sent me a tweet, and I want y'all to hear what Republicans are saying. The SCOTUS leak is an actual The SCOTUS leak is an actual insurrection, an attempt to completely upend and delegitimize the rule of law, incite violence and chaos, and potentially plunge the nation into civil war. January 6th was a stroll in the park compared to this. It's not even close. That is from Matt Walsh's blog. Guys, I really just don't think that we get sometimes, especially the narrative, like right now, as these people start to protest in the street. This is that Antifa, it's real. I feel like we are watching the crumbling of democracy in front of us. The experiment is now going wrong. And we're going to talk about the casino. We're going to talk about the DNC coming to Chicago. But I really think we need to be talking about what's our game plan here, famo. Like, this is real. Real. I know. Don't tell me about the... Man, anyway, it's the Mace Jackson Show. We got callers today hung up. All the callers hung up. Y'all hung up on me. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all don't want to talk about the Supreme Court. I think it's important. Y'all want to talk about this casino, though, don't y'all? Give us a call, 872-259. I'm not moving on till y'all call back. Nah. Y'all held on through the whole break, through the intro, and then I say that and y'all gonna quit, hang up. Anyway, don't forget also today, Sunnyside Dispensary. There is a versus. It is Support Your Local Weed Man versus Sunnyside today, May 4th from 4 p.m. until it's at the Sunnyside Wrigleyville campus, located at 3524 North Clark. They only got joints though, Riis. My cousin say he can't even fix his mouth to smoke a joint. He be trying. He can't figure out the cones. He just be like, why y'all can't just stick with the... Like, y'all, just nobody roll. There's no art to rolling anymore. Y'all just want to just stuff it in there and take a pencil and stick it up. It's all, no skills no more. All right, y'all. Mace Jackson Show. West Side is the bet side. Apparently, it looks like the mayor is going to pick the Bally's casino plan. After a variety of stories being leaked this week or over the last couple weeks about what could be looked at as favoritism, Riis, news outlets are reporting that Mayor Lightfoot could potentially pick Bally's location, which is Bally's, as the winner of the long coveted Chicago casino. The Bally's group, in my estimation, so I think most people thought that probably the leader in this was going to be the Rivers 78 because of the relationship the mayor has appears to have with Related Midwest and Neil Bloom. Neil Bloom happened to be her largest contributor in her march to being the mayor. And she has done a tremendous amount of work with Related Midwest in the city of Chicago. And I think most people thought that the 78 was probably going to be the place, but it came under fierce competition by the black and newly appointed Asian alderman. Right? So then you look at the casino that was supposed to be the Hard Rock, which was supposed to be at over by the United at one Central, which was supposed to be $1 billion. They tried to slide $1 billion investment through down in Springfield, and when that went through, when that didn't happen, then we knew that deal was probably going to fall through. And so now, Riis, you look at the sites, and it then falls into the River North location, which is the old Tribune site. Remember on Chicago Avenue? Remember when you used to, first of all, remember when the Tribune and the Sun-Times was like part of the Chicago skyline? Now it ain't no Sun-Times or no Tribune hardly, except online.
Yeah, that's crazy right there.
Think about in your lifetime.
When you watch like movies and stuff and you see like the buildings say Chicago, so yeah.
And now they're knocking down. So the goal is, because if you don't, what's going to go there? So it looks like it could be the near West Side site located at Chicago and Halsted, which is the Bally's deal, which Riis seems to have the widest black spread. Right? Like when I look at the teams, when I went to the presentations and when I look at the people, I look at the Bally's team as having the widest spread. And when I think about the widest spread, I think about the most black people in the deal. Riis, do you know what in the deal is?
Not at all.
You don't know what in the deal, and that is where I think we've all fallen. In our understanding of how we're supposed to participate. So let me back up. Let me start by saying that when you look at the deals and you look at the people that are involved, Bally's seem to have mastered the concept of inclusion. Like I think the other two casino deals had the Magic Negro Conjurer syndrome, where they found the special black dude or person that they thought, they kind of went to, I'm not going to say, because all of them are kind of the usual suspects, but I feel like Bally's did the biggest push to have the most people that black Chicagoans know in the deal. But Riis, you still don't know what in the deal is. Okay. And that's one of the things that I think we've got to start talking about. So let me go back to my Bally's points, and then I'm going to talk about being in the deal. So let me back up by saying that I think if River West, if the 27th Ward, home of Alderman Burnett, gets the casino at Chicago and Halsted, Riis, it will officially be the end of downtown as we know it. See, I think the center of the city now is Chicago and Randolph. Like, I feel like, not Chicago, Randolph and Halsted. Fulton Market is now the center of the city. Like, when you think of, and I'm going to use it as a comparison of Atlanta. When you go to Atlanta and you go downtown, where the businesses are and all of that stuff, it's dead. It's not cracking. It's not like, when we think of downtown like, bam, boom, 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 like walking around the skyscrapers, the businesses, the people walking. Well, since COVID, Riis, all the people are leaving those big buildings. They're not going back. And so that what made all of those restaurants and everything, think about Mag Mile. If there's no water tower place, you see the shops at 900 North Michigan leaving, right? All of the major luxury stores are still boarded up. When you going out now, you don't go downtown to go to Michigan Avenue. You go to the West Loop because you can eat, you can shop, now all of the new businesses, the new tech companies, they're all moving to the West Loop. Google, West Loop. Soho House, West Loop, #1 restaurant strip, West Loop. Remember when you used to go downtown to walk around? Where you walking around downtown now? State Street? What's on State Street? What's on Michigan Avenue if Water Tower closed? So now, where you going to eat? Yeah, you might go to Chicago Cut. You might go to a couple of steakhouses. But are you, Reese, if everybody ain't coming to work downtown no more, in them big buildings, where are the people going to lunch? Where they going to dinner after work? So now when you say, think about when the All-Star game came. They didn't build a Louis Vuitton store, a pop-up Louis Vuitton store on Michigan Avenue. They built it in the West Loop. Now you see every major corporation, you see all the new towers, West Loop. Now add to that the casino. Downtown is officially from, let's say, Wells to Ashland. United Center getting the L stop on Lake and Damon.
Really?
Lake and Damon.
Really?
Look at all that housing that just got filled in. So now what you're looking at is the shift of the city, and what will happen is, right, the rest of downtown. I don't know if y'all saw me telling the story of last week where they're saying that all of the buildings downtown now become residential. So imagine, like, think about it. The Wrigley building is residential now. So all of those buildings, imagine if you could live in the Sears Tower. Imagine they're saying now, because they can't retrofit those old buildings to all the tech stuff that needs to happen. So now, Reese, again, where you go downtown now? All they need is a movie theater out west. All they need is a movie theater.
I really don't go downtown to, like, I go downtown like for like scenery or something like that, not to like hang or anything. Like I go like other places.
Right. But look now. And guess what, Reese? All that happened since the last DNC. Now, let me just tell you. So let's back up. To me, so that sets the narrative. So now, Reese, if I told you that the last of the West Side is now where, come on, man, you couldn't be on Chicago. You couldn't be on Madison. Man, I remember being on that bridge on Chicago and it would be cracking with crackolators. So now, Reese, what you're seeing is if they build that casino, we will have seen the transformation of Chicago. Now, my question is, are we, as we're seeing it, going to protest or participate? Now, remember 2 weeks ago when I was telling you we need to stop fighting each other and stop letting them pick and say we want to be in the deal. But what I've come to recognize, Reese, is people don't understand what it means to be in the deal because we haven't been in the deal. Hey, Reese. I believe, and I'm going to use this number again. People get mad at me or they be talking about me, but I'm going to call it the Fighting 30. There's 30 people or organizations that will fight anything that's coming for participation. But to me, the path to participation is not to fight as a protester, Reese, but to fight as a participant and to be in the deal. See, I think we've allowed people to make an industry out of keeping the Fighting 30 out of the deal instead of making the industry on bringing the Fighting 30 into the deal. Now, there's a lot of dynamics that go to that because we become so fixated on the gatekeeper concept that we have to the gatekeeper keeping the gate closed, we have to make the quote unquote gatekeepers, and what you call gatekeepers, I call people in the deal. There has to be a benefit for them to bring you into the deal. But I think a lot of times when we say bringing people into the deal, I don't know how to bring you into the deal because I don't know what you do. I could almost 80% guarantee you that if everybody in the Fighting 30 had a proposal of how they could be in the deal, it would be much easier for the gatekeepers, as we like to call them, to figure out the answer of, instead of working around you, working to get you in. Now, part of our challenge is we have predetermined enemies and allies and have decided before the game even started who's on what team. And we've been brought into the game from the standpoint that your goal is to block. See, I need for y'all to understand that this casino is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I am going to tell you that if we as the, and I'm going to put myself in the Fighting 30. If we as the Fighting 30 don't determine how we're going to participate, family, it's going to happen anyway. And you're going to find black people, not you, that are taking advantage. Now, that's not a popular way to think. But can I tell you that you help more by having a working business that thrives, that employs people, and saying, look, man, I own a construction company. I do masonry work. I own a security company. And saying, okay, there is security that has to happen at the concert venue. There is security that has to happen at, and go in and pre-negotiate the deal with the people who are at the table to put everybody in. Now, I would argue that we don't even know those people because we've drawn lines, or we've allowed other people to draw lines that prevent us from even talking. Or we've offended each other so much, or we've called everybody so many names. I'm in that box. That you walk past a person who would grow your business. Go to the live line. Call you on the Mace Jackson Show. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mace.
What's up, Anthony?
How are you?
I ain't heard from you in a minute, brother. How you doing?
Been going through a rough patch, but I'm back.
Hey man, well, I'm glad you're back. Well, we keep you in our prayers, man. You send us a smoke signal so we know to send them up for you, brother.
I was up at TP the other day looking for you, but didn't nobody seem to know where you was at, so I left it alone. But nevertheless, I'm back.
I'm glad you're back.
First of all, what we gotta remember is, man, one administration later, a world-class city sitting around here with violence, people walking around not knowing where to go or what to do. We got to start quitting being so monolithic with our votes, okay? Just pouring all our votes into people that's continually letting us down. Anybody can let us down, man. I mean, you know, I refuse to not vote. But we need some better options when it comes time to vote. And we need to do a better job of vetting these people that we're voting for. Maybe that's what it is, okay? I know I'm all off topic, all in the weeds and whatnot, but I'm just feeling that way, man. Sitting back, I've been listening to the show, but I ain't been able to connect. But I'm back, like I said, So, I don't know, man. What do you think?
So, I think we do need better options, but it's always somebody else, right? It's always that's cool. It's always, we want better options, but we want somebody else to do it. It's like, man, you go out there. And I think that, again, all I'm saying is, and I think when we say how many people are going to lose and whatever from that casino, like, I feel like, do y'all understand the casino's going to happen? Like, it's going to happen. And so if we know it's going to happen, then it's imperative upon us to make the best opportunity for as many people as we can. I think how powerful is it for ECCSC as well as Inglewood Task Force to be able to create a training program where they can create a pipeline where their people could work at that casino? Now they probably got to hire somebody from the West Side. But you understand my point. Like, I trust the Fighting 30 to not look for like, if we could take our Fighting 30 and not make them grant focused and make them business economically sound focused, then we donating to ourselves. It's like we would be selling ourselves Chicago water. Right? Like, I think we have this, I keep saying we got this so confused. We look to create nonprofits to hope that we can do better. No, create businesses that you fund your own nonprofit. Ford Motor Company, we want Ford Foundation, and nobody recognizes Ford Foundation don't count if it ain't no Ford Motor Company. So who are the businesses that you support? It's the Mace Jackson Show. Go to the live line. Call in on the Mace Jackson Show.
Yo, what's good, bro? What's cracking? What's up, Riis?
What up, Devo?
Hey, man, you said Atlanta 3 times, man, and that just made me want to call in.
We caught you.
You know what I'm saying? But,
we caught you. Mario, we caught him, dog. We smoked him out.
You can't catch me, man.
Smoked him out.
Oh, I'm a Bears fan. Bro, y'all know I'm the number one Bears fan. But
trolling. You go.
Hey, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, man. Like you said, bro, the deal is going to happen, and I just need, shout out to ECCSC because I didn't get a chance to call in yesterday. But, it's really dope that you and Tyrone have this open communication with each other. And I would just like to see that amongst other leaders around, because what it does is it signals to the people that there is some process of unity. You know what I'm saying? Because the topics that you talk on, especially when it's business related, we got to come out of the protest mindset and then think, okay, well, how do we build? Because in order to do business, it's got to be collaboration, it's got to be communication, it's got to be understanding. That's how you do business. So, like, if the business is the business, then I need the business people, the black business people, to kind of get on the same page and come out the protest model, just exactly like you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to happen anyway, and all we want to do is determine a deal that is within the best interest of freedmen, black people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, man, I'm going to just let you go ahead and cook and be in your bag, because, I think Whipperwood needs to open up a entrepreneur class or something, because, how does a professional like myself, how would I go about getting a professional service contract with these new things? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just let you do your thing, man. Shout out. Oh, hey, phone banking at Cary for Assessor on Thursday. If y'all need more information, hit somebody up. Hey, man, it was a fun experience. It changes your whole perspective on what these campaigns need. So we got opportunities out here, and we just got to make time and take advantage of these opportunities. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
So, peace. That's all I got, man.
That's my man, Devin Gordine. He is the president of Black People First and the vice president of WIFTABA. WIFTABA 1. Hey, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, I want to talk about this some more, but I also want to add another dynamic to the mix. I know I know right here we get mad when we talk about the Democrats, but the Democratic National Convention is the city of Chicago is bidding on the DNC. Like I think I caught myself this morning because I was like, man, we got to protest. And then I thought about the last 2 DNCs that I went to, and I thought about how much money was made and how much money I saw descend on the town and how much power I saw on display. And I was just thinking like, hey man, generational wealth has been made at events like that. Are we going to protest them or participate? I want to talk about getting in the deal when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'll be right back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. Hey, do this for my people all across the globe. The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so there's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Justice what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tune. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they getting? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo's. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react, I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest sin. We seek it all the glory we can obtain and keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I do love being black. Hey, shout out to my man Vince Bass, who had a birthday yesterday. Hey, y'all, shout out to my sister Erica Burton. Sister Erica Mean Mug Burton. Y'all keep her in your prayers and let's keep her raised up and prayed up. Tomorrow is the homegoing ceremony of her beloved mother, who is now an ancestor, and so we want to make sure we show her some love. Hey man. So it's funny. Being black, I love being black, but it sometimes makes me a pessimist. And as we prepare to move from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., I think that the tenor of the show will change because it will give me the time to look at the day's news stories and analyze the opportunities. And so maybe with just a little bit more time, I can stop being mad and start to mine the opportunities. So I think I've tried very hard in my life in my radio life, this social media life, to be pretty honest with you all. And I've come to the epiphany that my war is just not with black people. Period. It's like there's nobody black in the city of Chicago that is doing me enough harm or is stopping me from anywhere that I'm trying to go that I need to focus any effort on that. I think I need to focus effort on really getting away from being angry and getting into opportunity. I've often said that I am not against gentrification. I just want us to participate. Do y'all know, like, it's funny because people be talking and it's like I just have watched this city, even as I have thought of myself as a participant, transform in front of my eyes. And had I not I feel like I've been in a big loop in a big circle. And it's like I feel like I'm being back to where I started, how I got into this with a whole new set of rules, and we have an opportunity to define ourselves. And instead of being victims in the casino and looking back 5 years from now and being like, we got played, I'd like to be able to say, brothers and sisters, let's not get played. Everybody. So Devin says, Maze, how do I get a personal services contract for what I do? Well, you're a security specialist and you do logistics. So do you have a company that does logistics planning? And maybe it starts with events. You might say, Maze, I have a cleaning company. Well, my goal would be to get you in the deal. Oh, but you don't know about getting in the deal. So we're going to talk about it in a minute because I want to talk about getting in the deal. But Riis, before I talk about getting in the deal, I saw a story a couple weeks ago about Chicago going after the DNC. That they were going to bid on the DNC. And the last time the DNC happened was in 1996. I had just come to Chicago. I was not involved in politics. But I remember it as plain as day. And I look at 1996 to where we are now, and in the same neighborhood. Remember when Madison was the stroll? Remember Madison? Man, I was standing outside talking to a community activist, and he was telling me back in the day, we was standing on the corner, and he was like, man, one time I came down here and got me a lady right here, and she was right here. And I was like, really? I was like, this is like one of the nicest neighbor blocks in the world now, in the country, in the city. So imagine if you knew, but Riis. So I want everybody out here listening to say, if I knew what I knew 26 years ago, what would I have done differently? Now, imagine that it's 26 years ago and it's starting all over again. If you knew that in 20 years, what is going to happen at that casino spot in that neighborhood, and you are protesting now, instead of participating, think about where you would be 26 years from now. If you fight without the goal of participation, or you get in the deal. Riis, Is Tyrone Muhammad more powerful as one ECCSC or every one of them guys being able to branch out and build families and take care of themselves? Because instead of waiting on I seed your money or waiting on some nonviolence prevention, he got a 10-year deal to provide training, support, and security with ex-offenders. And maybe they don't secure the casino because of whatever challenges. But they can secure the concert venue. And the director of security, and there's a pathway, and that's part of the deal. So before you can have a casino, we're not going to wait on the grant to fund ECCSC. ECCSC is going to have a business planner that is going to help them. We're going to pull Tracy in, and we're going to say, Tracy, you got to put a 10-year security plan together that exits people out. Now, Tyrone might say, Devin, you don't have a company, but I got to hire a logistics manager. Now, you're not going to see that if you ain't never been in on the deal, Riis. If you don't know how to get in the deal, because the deal is being made. And so, I'm going to tell you, I saw the DNC was coming to Chicago, and I was, hey, Riis, I ain't going to even lie. I was about to get up and cook the Chicago and the mayor, and they want to have the DNC in Chicago. And then I thought about back when I was at the DNC when I was in good. Riis, I was in Charlotte. I was watching black soul food companies make not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands, I can't say millions. But I know that it became the center of the world. Every news station, every channel, every celebrity, every who's who was there. And you know what? We missed. Not we missed. I saw the opportunity. Remember when the All-Star game came? White people everywhere was cleaning up. We missed. So now I'm looking at this casino and I'm looking at the history. And I'm saying, Riis, this casino is going to get up. No matter how many protests. Now, is it better for me for 20 years from now for Okamak Construction to have all of the maintenance for the hotel that goes up for a 10-year contract that's in the deal? That guarantees your wealth, your payroll, those questions, because it's in the deal. When the DNC comes, do I get to call Ballhead Catering because Ballhead is catering the Chicago event of the, what is the deal? And are we in the deal? So now let me show you something. I want you to pay. So I was going to get up last week and I was going to cook the DNC. And then you know what I saw it said? It said Riis Strategy Group is handling a big chunk of the marketing. And you know what I said? Damn, Riis Strategy Group is my girl Tara Cooper, who we would call a gatekeeper, but who some people might call a gatekeeper, but she call him every time she got a contract, she call him like, hey man, is this something you do? Because I don't do that. We don't do that. She calls and says, hey, is this something over on this thing that you can do? Let me introduce you let me get you in the deal. So my girl Lisa Cooper got an event planning company, right? They trying to get off the ground, but she gets to do the events at the hotels. Maybe she does all of the VIP meet and greets, but she's in the deal. Are we going to allow this to be built in Chicago, knowing that it's going to be built, and give it away to people who ain't even from here because they not mad about the fact that they see the opportunity? We be so mad about the deal that we don't get in the deal. And then if you get in the deal, then you the sellout instead of being brought as, hey, dog, you got in, you the plug. Plug me. My son called me up yesterday. He said, Dad, I got a job interview. What? I said, well, Dad, do you need me to make any calls? What you need me to do? Do we need to do some event? He's like, no, I think I got it. And I said, well, Dad, I didn't help. And he was like, well, I talked to Jason and Andy. And they told me when they found out I had to pay for my car, they said, hey, well, here's a chance for you. I'll talk to my boss and I'll get you a job. And so he calls me and says, now I don't want to jinx it, but he like, I'm all like, man, who I need to call? What do I need? You better let my son. And he's like, nah, well, we already talked. And the manager already told him, you got a guy, I'll get your guy. It's like our sense of how these things work. It's like, remember when Lollapalooza happened? I was going off on Lollapalooza, and then Cousin Juan got the contract to do Lollapalooza and create that one stage that now she's got for next year. I can't be mad at Lollapalooza. Now what I got to do is make sure that Cousin Juan do right. And what did Cousin Juan say? When she got the plug, she hired Chicago artists and made them pay them Chicago artists. Now, we was mad at Lollapalooza because of the mayor, but can I be mad if she plugged Juan? No. But Juan got to do right. See, we're focused on the protest more than the participation. Riis, you know what I wanted in my life? I want to be the Black People Lobby. I know this sounds really crazy, but I really wish that I could, like all of the people that are fighters or protesters, I really wish that I could be their lobbyist. And the reason I say that is because I feel like in the last couple of weeks, Riis, I've recognized that there are imaginary barriers that we put on ourselves and the barriers that somebody else told us exist, and we believe them. Instead of going to the table. Riis, I don't want Tyrone to ever have to ask Isija or anybody to help ex-offenders. Not ours. You know what I want Tyrone to be able to do? I want him to be able to have to go look at his own damn bank account and say, I got to move $1 million over to my charitable account and I can write it off because I got this entity. I want ECCSC to be Monterey Security. Then I don't need him to be on TV talking about he mad because somebody else played him and didn't give. Man, bust that. Fund your. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying the deal is you get the 20-year contract to secure. And because you know the people know they want, because they don't know that they can get a. Riis, when I used to lobby, I promise you there would be people I would go to and I'd be like, I could get you in the deal. But the instinct was to be in a fight, and they could not control the fact that they was at the table. And they were so used to fighting that they didn't understand that the people was there to give them what they wanted. Now, you got to have something that you can produce, because a lot of times what they do is they give us people and they pay you for underperformance in some cases. And then you get used to thinking that you get to. Now you still got to do the job, and you don't get to do the job that you want to do. You got to do the job that the contract calls for. But if you can do 20 years, the Maze Jackson Show. Go to the live line. Caller.
Yes, good morning, Maze. What do your friends at the BGA say about black participation in the casino or any other project in the city of Chicago? And you do have friends at the BGA. This is Hope.
Hey, Hope, I don't have friends at the BGA. They be trying to whack me. But I would say this. I think that anytime black people try to participate in the process, they're going to extra scrutinize it. But I don't think that should be a deterrent. I think even when they wrote the story, they told a story from the perspective of white people who are saying, who these niggas think they are, trying to participate and trying to do the same thing and not allege nothing wrong. So here's my thing. I think that we got two extremes in the black space. People are scared to do a deal because they think they're going to get in trouble because of moments like the BGA. So now people don't want to talk to you because they like, man, you going to get me in trouble, although there was nothing wrong. Or you got people that won't do a deal with you, period. And I just think that we have to be able to play in the game. There are billions of dollars being moved around right now. I really don't care what the BGA thinks as it relates to it. I am going to follow the law to the T, and I am going to advocate for my people as guaranteed as a right in the Constitution. So I don't care about the BGA. Really, I don't. I don't appreciate them niggerizing me, but it is what it is. Go ahead. What else?
Well, the fact of the matter is the BGA supports the status quo. And the status quo is that, well, blacks aren't participating in anything, and they're fine with it. To hell with this equality, diversity, and everything else. But the fact of the matter is, even with the casino is not a sure bet. And remember, the city of Chicago moved towards the casino is really 25 years too late. They let Hammond, Indiana beat them out. And now there's casinos all over. The market is saturated. If it's a failure, who's going to bear that? Even the BGA is not saying that. What good is a better government association when they can't focus on the issues at hand? Thank you, Maze. That's my call.
Thank you, Hope. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Hope. Anybody else? Thank you to everybody from WBGX 1570 AM. We appreciate you tuning in every day. We're going to continue the conversation. I'm actually about to play. I'm going to wait. I got a little long in the tooth on this conversation. When we come back, I'm going to play the Chicago Olympic bid. We can do we're going to go to break and then come back. But I'm going to play the video for the Chicago Olympic bid. I was thinking, could you imagine if everybody showed up with Robin Patrice, like the Robin Patrice Chicago jackets at the United Center? Right? Can you imagine the Robin Patrice pop-up shop that happens inside of the United Center when people are buying their millions of dollars worth of paraphernalia, when money isn't really an object? Right? Like, there's an opportunity. Like, who lobbies for those opportunities? And I know y'all be laughing at me, but realistically, that's why I want to be the black people's lobbyist. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like when I was in Springfield, there was like a black lobbyist that handled all the social services. Like, I want to lobby for black entrepreneurs. Like, you got a business, I want to push it. And I feel like I would rather like maybe do something where it's like y'all all put in $5 or $20 a month, and then you have lobbying services. And so when these things are happening, we show them how to put people in and start plugging people. Because I'm gonna tell you, this is if we get the DNC and we are marching and protesting, and we ain't making nobody wealthy, ain't nobody black eating except the people, that's gonna be our damn fault. That is going to be our own damn fault. It's just we've been deceived on the path to it. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about this DNC coming to Chicago. We'll be back.
Show. We'll be back after this break.
It's official West Suburbs and Chicagoland area. The Naperville Soul Fest is back, featuring a live performance by Avery Sunshine and Carl Thomas on Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul, Selena Johnson, and Riis. On stage Saturday, June 4th at Naper Settlement, located at 523 South Weber Street in downtown Naperville. If you missed the last Naperville Soul Fest, you don't want to miss this one. Get your discounted tickets on Eventbrite or visit NapervilleSoulFest.com for more event details. For vendor opportunities with access to over 7,000 attendees, text 630-202-6431. That's 630-202-6431. Spend your first weekend in June at the Naperville Soul Fest with Avery Sunshine Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul on Saturday, June 4th. Check out NapervilleSoulFest.com for more information.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breaching security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they did get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. Still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there is terrorism.
Terrorism.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel to
just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Bly. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, and it is the 8 o'clock hour. Thank you to the Saints for tuning in. I want to get back to getting in the deal. My instinct as a black Chicagoan considers myself a part of the Fighting 30. I saw a story last week that said that the Chicago was planning to bid on the DNC, and I was ready to go off. Right, I was ready to be like, "Who they damn Democrat did." And then I thought back to the Democratic National Convention when I was there in Charlotte, and I thought about the amount of money, the amount of things. Riis, it was the very first time that I saw the Google car that was doing the Google Maps. Would you ever seen the car where they got the thing on
like the camera on top of it
with all the directions? Well, we saw that, and we were actually there when Uber laid out the plan and showed us in advance that there was going to be driverless cars. Right? I got pictures of it. It was crazy.
What you mean? Is nobody in that car?
No, that one is.
Okay,
I'm saying they had
nobody in
no,
that
but
car.
they have driverless car. They were showing us driverless cars along with that, saying that as they started to get further on, that this car would be driverless, and that would be how they would be able to stay up and they could remote control it all around the country. But I caught myself, and Tennille Snack kind of got me last week when I was talking about all the things what we don't have in Chicago, and she was like, "Nah, y'all just missing out because y'all be mad all the time." She said, "No, really, you missing out because the people who ain't from here ain't mad. They like, man, we'll come see y'all on the South Side. We do." So my thing is, if we know these things are happening, is it that we don't trust ourselves to do right? Like, I don't know if people trust themselves to be successful because their example of success always includes somebody, quote unquote, selling out. And I think instead of looking at selling out, I think if we learn to celebrate and not feel like we were left out because being in the deal is not something that we understand. So when someone gets in the deal, instead of cheering or saying, "Dang, how do I get in the deal?" you just feel like you ain't got no chance. That's why I really want to be your lobbyist. Like, I know I had talked to Tyrone about this, but I feel like I want to be the lobbyist of black entrepreneurs. Like an association where you could come and I could tell you, like, let's sit, like when I read the paper, I read the paper and I see your business opportunities. Like literally, almost everybody, when I read about this casino, I feel like everybody should be written in the deal. Like, don't make them go look for, if we have cleaning companies, there's going to be 20 hotels. Who represents the black cleaning companies? And the ones that do are getting in the deal. Because guess what they got their lobbyists doing? Hey, man, they read the story of the casino coming, and you know what they start doing, Riis? They start seeing where their opportunities are. And instead of looking at these things and seeing what we ain't got, we got to say who's got it and who can we plug into that spot. It's a reason that the same 6 people go, because they answer the question. Who is our black construction company? Right? Like, I feel how people be tripping. But who is the black construction company that we are putting at the table, that when that black construction company gets to the table and gets the deal, they're going to hire the black plumbing company, the black carpenter, but our premise is block instead of build. And then, so anyway, I want to play this commercial. This video. Riis, you ready? Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to play this is a 2-minute and 47-second video about why Chicago should be the choice of the DNC. Riis, I'm going to tell you, even with this, like, I see the opportunity for K-Shack Vids or Brother Edward Steve to put the video together. Because I bet you this was a $50,000 video. But do you see yourself in the deal? You see that can't be me. Let's go. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to turn the volume up. This is our bid for the DNC.
Our future is created right here by every single Chicagoan who chooses to see what we can be and achieve, by the resilience deeply rooted in our history and the strength gained from every single victory, by the vibrant neighborhoods up north, south, east, and west, 77 to be exact, each with unique history, sounds, and tastes. From Pilsen, Logan Square, Avalon Park, to Chinatown, Ravenswood, back of the yards. We're home to many, many communities that provide all kinds of opportunities. By all the diversity that unites us, connects us, that brings out the best in us. Every face, every age, every race, all different types of populations that make us one city representing one nation. By all our flavors that are exciting and unique. Music, art, comedy, festivals, that's all in our mystique. By all the monuments that make our tourism iconic, historical, botanical, architectonic. Imagining, planning, building, advancing, leading the battle on voting rights, advocating to preserve all civil rights. Suppression, oppression, we're fighting for equality. It's why we're known as the heartland of democracy. Working to grow a stronger, fairer economy is part of our motto and engraved in our philosophy. Creating more jobs and raising minimum wage, making sure everyone sees and feels a change. Pushing for environmental justice, regardless of race, color, or origin amongst us. Protecting reproductive choice, making sure everyone has a voice. Investing in clean energy that fights pollution. What we need is an environmental revolution by those who don't stop, won't stop until they ask all the questions. Making sure Chicago heads in the right direction. This is the city that has what it takes. No shortcuts, cut corners. You gotta earn what you make. That's big enough, strong enough, important enough to preserve and create our future right here.
You mad or no? What's the Maze Jackson
That was
show?
nice. That you were, hey.
It was a little vanilla. I was like, man, Barack stole our thunder. So let me say this. When you see that, do yourself in or out? Do you see that video and say, man, we about to eat? Or do you see that video and say, we're about to get eat? So this is where I want to talk about getting in the deal. The Fighting 30 has a choice to make, in my estimation. The Fighting 30 has to decide if they're going to shape the future of Chicago and be part of the decision-making process, or they are going to fight. Now, there's more than one way to fight. But let me ask you a question. When you see the DNC every white business person that I know could care less about J.B. Pritzker, could care less about Lori Lightfoot, Dick Durbin, or Tammy Duckworth. You know what they care about? The fact that if the DNC comes to Chicago, they're going to win. People are going to want to go to the soul food restaurants, the barbecue. You know who gonna crack? You know who supposed to crack during the DNC? Lim's Barbecue, Peaches. You know what I see? I see What's in it for the Black People media having every national person that is in the political world being able, and us having a setup on press row and being able to ask the questions and participate. I see the DNC buying ads on every podcast and everybody in this town, whether I like you or not, you being able to get guests that you would not ordinarily get. Because why? You know the communications person. And the communications person says, if you go to Chicago, you got to stop by XYZ ABC. I see every black publicist that's in Chicago having some work to do. I see the brothers that are fighting for construction opportunities, instead of saying, man, we going to shut the site down. It's like, here go our people that we got that we want to be in the deal. See, 25 years ago, I didn't know how to get in the deal. I didn't know that the job, I didn't know that we were supposed to advocate for ourselves the way that we do. We didn't know to ask for business. You asked for a job, you got jobs. Remember when everybody was cleaning up the United Center? You got jobs. We didn't know the game back then. We didn't know to say, okay, I need a multi-year contract for this company ABCD, and company ABCD, if you ain't ready, you need to be getting ready, because what are you submitting to do? So let me ask the question to everybody that shows up in a fight, what's your exit plan? When do you win? How much contracts do you need? Not some guys, how many? And how many of those some guys do you need to work to become a profitable entity so that the fight is no longer you not getting, but you're bidding? How do we get from fighting the deal to getting in the deal? Do y'all understand that this is a shrinking pie? Do you look around, Riis? I look around and I go to the protests, and it ain't the masses. Riis, the masses ain't mad about weed. The masses of black people ain't mad about cannabis. How many of them show up and fight for it or fight against it? So is it wrong for you then, if that's what your fight is, to figure out what your exit is? Because guess what? Then you got accountability. It's easy to be fighting it. Can I tell you what the worst thing in the world is? Payroll. You know why? Because it's accountability. It means that you got to be responsible for running the business, for making it all add up. And that's how you build. There's not going to be a generation. I'm praying for reparations, because that will be the cash infusion I need, but to do other things. But who are the people that you trust to be in the deal to do right by you? Like, because we don't trust nobody, no kind of way. And if anybody gets one thing or something because nobody else wanted to get in the deal, because you looking at it saying, I'm about to protest this bad boy, instead of saying, hey man, here's the 20 cleaning companies. Here's the 20 blah, blah, blahs. Here's the 10 lawyers. Here's the 15 engineering firms. We all together. Now, how many projects you got? Break it up. Small, medium, and large. And your person goes to your lobbyist goes, because again, tell me what businesses we are fighting for to get contracts. Not individuals. But what businesses are we fighting for to get? What businesses are protesting? Tell me. What businesses? Not people. Not organizations. What businesses are protesting? Because businesses are chasing business. Am I? And so, in some of this, y'all, we saw the projects come down. We saw it happen 20 years ago. Dog, do y'all understand we about to be on the 20? Now, Hope may be right. This may not show up. But in 20 years, if you knew right now that the casino is going to go up, in my estimation, we have allowed ourselves to believe that our win is fighting until it's up. Do y'all understand they be fighting you while the stuff still be going up? Now, can I ask? Is it wrong? Like, so maybe the win for an organization is that 2% of the revenue that comes from the blah, blah, blah goes to fund ex-offender nonprofit. Or the business wants to contract and the business says, we're going to make a profitable business that gives us not a substance business, but a business that has profit built into it that allows us to contribute to our own saviorness. Tell me what businesses we are fighting for and who has not done right by that, and then let's deal with them. But I don't know that you can look at somebody else and say they're eating because they spent 3 weeks in a room writing a 20-page proposal that addresses every technical component of it to be able to compete. They probably don't have the time to protest. But if then the case is that they get the contract and we believe that is the case, then there should be a commitment for them to finance the fighters. But I got to know, like, I can't keep going on the battlefield without knowing what the defined victory is, or at least the out. How many people How many business pitches have anybody supported? So this is what I would like. And this is where I would sit. I would love the opportunity to present your business plan, your business proposal to companies. I'd like to be able to point to you what is successful in a business plan and what is not, or what a successful proposal looks like, because I do think that there are ways of doing business and it don't equal just showing up. Like, you got to bid, and I'm saying, and then I want to know what businesses we're advocating for. And then let's get them in the deal. I don't want to talk about what everybody's vision is. Give me the deck. Do you know what the deck is? If you don't know what the deck is, that's my point. Let me get a deck from you. Let's build a deck, and then let's go present what it is and make them tell you no. What if they told you no to? I'm not saying that they haven't. But I can tell you, I can count on one hand how many times I've gotten a business proposal for people that want work. That's not to denigrate anybody. That is to say, are we going, like, we can point to everybody, and I'm not suggesting that. I think we're living in a space where people want to answer the question. I think that to get this casino done, they're going to say, help them, help them, help them, help them. Look, man, I don't want no problems. But people, it's difficult to pay for something that doesn't exist. Now, as your lobbyist, I'm going to read the paper and I'm going to say, fam, this is what you do. We should try to have a meeting with these people. And we should present your deck to them and we should say, hey, here it is. But instead of doing one, we should put all the Fighting 30 in one deck and go in and say, solve all your problems. Here's how the Fighting 30, because everybody else that's got business, they doing it. The Fighting 30 need to figure out what they want. And instead of going as the Fighting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, arrange your Fighting 30 and say, here's the Fighting 30. This is the universal peace agreement. Like the labor people say, here, you want labor peace, sign this and you straight with everybody. But that means you got to do these rules. Because what winds up happening is they can pick one individual that can throw it all off. And then when the one individual without a business doesn't have a tool or a mechanism to help other people, then you get the whole sellout clause. This brother said, well, if that person got the money but they ain't got a business that can hire people and they don't have a commitment to hiring, and they don't have an accountant, right? Just because you got an idea does not mean you have a business. So, I guess my thing is, I feel like people want, as a businessman, I have had to pursue and chase business all over the country. I've had to spend money to get business. I've had to wine, dine, do all of those things before I was a lobbyist, even to do the hip hop stuff. It's a requirement of doing business that I think, like, everybody think you wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm in business and somebody just gave it to me. No, you got to do it. So, all I'm saying is, if the casino is going to go up, can we get in the deal? And can people get in the deal without being a sellout? Like, if you have a cleaning company then is your goal to get a cleaning contract or is your goal to protest? If you have a construction company, an excavation company that you own, now my boy that's doing my blah, 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 and you own, and if not, bring your boy or that person and let's push. But I don't know that there's an exit plan. All right, let's go to the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show? What's up?
Hi, this is Katie. How are you?
Hey! Okay, hold on. I'm going to make an official nomination right now that we make Katie the new president of the phone club. Riis, can I get a second from you, man?
I second it.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Everybody tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. If you vote that Katie should be the new president of the phone club, please signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. Congratulations, you are now the new president of the phone club. Katie from Ashburn.
We did it. You're going to be the next president.
How you doing, boss lady?
Thank you. Fine. Thank you. I accept that nomination. Thank you.
All right. You got drafted.
Maze Jackson.
It's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay this fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your your hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Do we understand the process of getting in the deal? Like, what are we? I would like to see all the black people that have not figured out a way, that would like to do work, and I'm going to say in the Fighting 30, I'd like to know what the Fighting 30 would like. And then I'd like for us to sit down and put a strategy together to get those things included in the final deal. Now, tell me what we're marketing, what services we're providing, and then let's make them tell us why they can't. You know, I hear it's always, I don't really, you know, when people tell me who blocks me, you gotta listen to the source. Let's get everybody in the room. Because what I've come to recognize, Riis, is that there is a whole market built around saying he said, she said this, he said that, never being able to pin it down. Right? And so maybe we need to get all the parties in the room, because it's funny, the white boys always got a lot to talk about. But what do they talk about when we there? When we all there together? And again, I think if we had communication between each other, then the white boys wouldn't be able to run that game. But we also have to respect each other. Like, everybody feel like, well, I just, again, if I don't get what I want the way I want it, I'm going to take it. Okay, well. So again, we get a couple $100, no long-term multi-year deals, and the people who have kind of figured out how to get out of that cycle, I then become the sellouts, because it's just, we in a crazy cycle. Whew. All I would say is, Riis, we need to I gotta say, we are on the hamster. I do not want to be on the hamster wheel 20 years from now. I do not want to be looking back at this and saw 50, because everybody ain't trying to get in. So if everybody ain't trying to get in, I would sure hate to see the same people protesting now 20 years from now. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. What's up, caller? You on the Maze Jackson Show. Hello?
Shalom, my brother.
What's up? What's up, Israel?
What's going on, my beautiful black brother? Man, I appreciate the topic. I appreciate the conversation meeting we had the other day too. I got some legitimate. I got a legitimate black-owned GC, a woman got all the credentials in the world, more than them damn brothers. I ain't gonna say nothing negative. I got a legitimate GC. I got a legitimate electrician. I got a legitimate piper. I got some legitimate, not them 2%ers, not these joint ventures. Just had a major meeting with McHugh yesterday. See, some of these Europeans be in the high top mountains. It's called the snow-capped white mountain. They really don't know what's going down in the trees. You know, I ain't taking up for them, but they just don't know. So many gatekeepers out there, and so many diversity and inclusion people. You know, I mean, I ain't got to go too far to it, but I got some people that you can bring to the table. I mean, you talked about it. I can't wait to bring them to the table.
So let me say this, Israel, because I think that's part of our conversation. This conversation isn't necessarily directed at you, but part of part of it is that if you're gonna be their lobbyist, right?
Yeah.
Then if you're going to be their lobbyist, then you have to do the best job to get them to the table. And your job as the lobbyist is to negotiate, maneuver, say whatever it takes to get your people to the table. And sometimes I think that doesn't just rely on brute force. And I'm not saying it's brute force. It's also relationship, right? And it is the cultivation of relationships over time. so that people understand the objective. And I think sometimes, like, if we gonna lobby for people, I think we gotta be able to put them in the best light so that the people that you're trying to get them to don't feel intimidated or running away from them, but feel in a way that they're like, yo, let me get an introduction, let me find out, and let me create a way. I think a lot of times we've put ourselves in a place where and again, what our job is. If your job is to be the fighter, then be the fighter. But if your job is to be the lobbyist, then your client has to know that you're not going to offend the people that they trying to do work with, or put the people that they're trying to do work with in a position where they feel like where they're being forced. And I think that's kind of understanding what everybody's role is. If you're going to be a fighter, then that's one thing. If you're going to be a lobbyist, you got to schmooze. You do. It's like if you're going to be an effective one, because people are going to find a way to run. So I do think you've got legitimate businesses. Now what you got to say is, if I'm going to be their representative, am I putting them in the best way to succeed for them, not for you? Israel?
Just till you call them clear. And I'm here, I'm listening. I'm using 2 ears and 1 mouth. I've been doing this, and I tell the world, more than 20 years now. And I started with fighting for jobs in Kenny King on 6th. I hosted. They held back and rest in peace. Good brother. I learned a lot from him. So I'm trying to tell you, these politicians be blocking. I'm not talking about your people. I'm telling you, strange reason. We go bring some legitimate people to the table. The damn alderman, just because you won't kiss their ass, they won't sign the permit, or they'll come up with some damn excuse. And I'm talking about the South Side alderman. I'm not pointing the
No. But Israel. So let me just say this. And again, this is me talking to you as a fellow. Go ahead.
Please let me just say, because I've been doing this a long time, and I'm seeing that's what made me become a contractor. I jumped out there. Hey, wait a minute, these brothers making these contractors I was working for it was $29 an hour then. So see, I didn't really know business. I jumped out there. I ain't know nothing about the payroll, 941. Payroll is excuse me, but trying to make payroll for a legitimate union contractor, and these crackers, and I call them crackers, didn't want to pay me for 90 days. Do you imagine how many people coming at you? Your guys looking at you strange, the unions looking at you strange. You ain't gonna get a loan from the bank. But that's a whole nother story too. So I'm saying I done been through all that. Trust me, man. And you know politics better than me, brother. That's why I F with you, man, because you was in over there with the people. And then you see, you like, they legislate our demise, brother, and you know that. So I'm saying it's a slippery slope. But I'm tried all that other stuff. And the only thing you need to understand is a protest. I hate to say it like that. That's the only thing, because they'll lie in your face. The Europeans speak with a forked tongue. The Indians tell you that. And they'll go get a gatekeeper. They'll go get somebody or give up a cleaning company that I do. That ain't no millions of damn dollars. Then I can't compete with the damn Mexicans and Polacks because they pay up under the damn table. So it's a long slippery slope. And I'm looking forward to this. And I'm proud to do it for 20 plus years. I do it for 20 more years, but I'm not. That's why I'm making so much noise now, because I am damn if my grandchildren go through the hell I went through.
And so
that shit ain't finna happen.
And I'm with you on that. And I think that
I know you're right, and I'm with you too. I'm just trying to tell you, I've been doing 20. I saw all ins and outs of this shit, especially when it comes to contract. And I switched up to the contractors. Legitimate black people call me like, man, I can't get no work. All the damn cranes in there, all these damn joint ventures. I ain't got to name them. Everybody knows it's only about 5 or 6 of them in the damn town. Ain't no legitimate contractors in Chicago. Yeah, I said it. Not one.
I'm not, so I'm not.
Fun ass company.
I'm not in the construction.
I know you ain't. I'm in it.
So this what
go in the damn office. Go in the office and see. Yes, sir. Let me know. Got off my high horse.
Thank you. Thank you, Israel. So let me say this. So I want you to decide if you're gonna be a lobbyist or you're gonna be the fighter. And I'm okay with either one. But if you're gonna be the lobbyist, right? For your client's benefit, and I'm just telling you my learnings, because even as I've done this Mace Jackson show, it has not been good for my clients per se. So if you're going to be the lobbyist and you need the permit signed by the GD alderman, that's the such and such MF that you came on the radio, if I'm your client right now, I'm smacking my head saying, well, I ain't getting that project. Now, that's not a diss. That's understanding what your job is in this space. As the lobbyist, your job is to get your client's goal achieved. Your ego, what you did for 20 years means nothing. right? Like, if you're going to be their lobbyist, you can't bring your, like, that's where I lost a lot of business beyond them killing, is who they don't want to hear your, if you hire me to be a lobbyist, I don't need to bring your problems with me. I don't need you to bring 50 years of baggage. All I want to do is do my work. And the 90 days, the 120 days getting paid, that ain't just government projects. What you're talking about is the things that happen in business, that you have to meet a payroll, and whether it's the state, the contract, the contractors, the unions, there are slow pay people. And those are all the things that if you being a businessman, that's why you don't have time to be on the front line, because you got to figure out all those things. Again, if you hire me to be the blunt force, that's one thing. If you hire me to be the lobbyist, that's another thing. And I think, like, it's like, again, I think we don't even communicate with each other well. So in not communicating with each other well, it's like we take a step forward and 2 steps back. That's why I would like to lobby for black people, for black businesses, for black entrepreneurs. I'm moving away from the fighting and whooping people and saying, how do we get to solutions? See, I would tell you that somebody right now, the reason that all the people that are getting contracts right now are because of the fights that people like Israel are having. But what winds up happening is you exclude your own client from the space that you've made. I did it. I know. Right? So now the whole world is talking about black people and what's in it for the black people, and you listening to them, and now we saying black and everything. But remember how I told you they going to answer the question, but you ain't going to get to be the answer? You ain't going to get to participate? That's what I'm trying to help us understand. And again, yeah, man, it's a weird space that I operate in. I want to in the space of this lobbying thing, I want to talk about letting somebody else tell your story. For the last, or not letting someone else, but be careful who tells your story and who's telling what people are saying about your story. Also got to say that I have, there are truths in your life that you find that you hope that you never have. Like, when you know something and you be like, please God, please don't let this happen again. Even though like, you can almost guarantee that if put in a position, people are always going to, not people are always going to. So for the last 3 to 5 years, but probably in the last year, particularly, I have let my story be told by people who do better keeping me out than letting me in. People who you trust. Let me back up. Yesterday, I put a post up for my dear friend Vince Bass. Vince is one of my best friends in the world. He accepts me for me, like the bad, the good. You know, I got an attitude. But for 30 years, we have been thick as thieves. And y'all know me. I'm loyal to my people. I'm loyal to my friends. And I had some people, outside people, who spent a lot of time trying to convince me of the worst instead of the best of my own people. Oh, it's going to make this person mad. Oh, it's going to make that person mad. Oh, it's going to damage this. Oh, it's going to damage that. But y'all know me. Y'all know my people is my people. So we had a real conversation. Shout out to, I can't tell everybody who was in it. But I came to recognize that the stories that people were telling were like straight outright lies. Their own opinions inserted as fact from someone else. Then, Riis, I looked at over the last, 20 years. Let's just say the last 2. And recognize that some of the things that I learned as a child, as it relates to race, relations, and all of that, as much as you don't want them to be true, are true. And I learned this week the value of not, one, allowing other people to tell your story from their perspective. Never let it be. Secondly, once again, I learned you got to limit who you can trust. Always be wary of the people who tell you what can't happen, what won't happen, what can't be done, that propose to you when you have a solution, the worst. I told you I was going to be at peace with everyone, and as I have started to come to peace with everyone, Riis, the world has slowed down. Slowed down. And I can see things. And things become apparent. And things become obvious to me. You ever had somebody that wants you to do good but not too good? You ever had somebody?
I told you good, but just not better than them. They want you to do good, but just not better than them. You ever had somebody that whole side what your outcome is going to be and then project it to everybody else? Oh, there they go. Might have hurt their feelings. But I got to tell you, Riis, I learned a valuable lesson this week, and y'all going to see it. But it be the people, it be your own people, Riis. It be the people closest to you wishing you the best and worst at the same time. And it's always funny when they make themselves clear, because when you figure it out, then they start to get scarce. You don't see them as much. They start to nibble around the edges when they realize you can read. I gotta tell you,
You really only got to watch. It's not big actions. It's just the little things. You pay attention and you see who's on your team. When you have dissension, when you have, I just don't want people in my life. Riis, I want the best for everybody. I want everybody to do the best. Like the best. Like I want you to be the best. You can be better than me. Because I'm going to keep on working. But I realized that there has been a value for certain people in this world to keep me out and keep me away from the information sources. Riis, you ever thought you had beef with somebody and they be like, man, you beef? No, because told me you was like, you was over there shopping. Man, dog,
Nah, it be the worst ones when you find out that somebody beef. Like, I didn't even know we was beefing. Right? We beefing?
I
didn't know we was into it.
Like, you ever had somebody speak as if they speaking for the chief and they really speaking for the Indians? And then you realize that they speaking for the Indians based on some they own feelings. They own preconceived notions. When people try to pick what black people you can talk to because it's going to offend the other white people, and other white people be like, what are you talking about? I got me some gas too. You know what I used to hate the most in the world? Now, is when, remember, you ever have a story that your parents ask you what happened at school and you tell them your version and they be like, you know what? I'm so mad because you amp them up. You be like, ooh, mama, and this, and they said this and this and this, and then you be so amped up that you go in, your mama be like, I'm going to school to talk to them. You like, wait, I don't want you to go there and talk though. And then when you go and talk, and the teacher be like, and your parent, because your parent came up there to snap. And then the parent found out that the teacher like, no, I love your son. He's the greatest ever. He's just got, and you realize, your parents realize you've been lying. I've come to recognize that there is a value in being the middleman, and there is a value in keeping dissension between the top guy and the middle. There's a value in running interference in the middle. Because bosses because if the bosses talk to the bosses, then the middleman loses his power. So the worst thing you want is for the middleman wants is for the bosses to get the cell phone numbers so they can call directly. Because then all that BS that you've been saying, you be getting caught. Riis, I learned a valuable lesson this year. Be careful who tells your story. And be careful whose story you listen to about what people are saying about you. Be careful whose story you listen to. You be walking around, find out you thought you had enemies that actually love you. I want to send a big shout out to my beautiful and lovely wife, President Carrie K. Steele, making big moves. Hey, y'all. Couldn't be prouder of what she's accomplished, what she's gonna accomplish. Big things happening. Some game-changing moves. Y'all check out Politico today. Y'all check out Politico. Shout out to everybody who phone banked yesterday. You shall not phone bank in vain. Shout out to everybody that's getting down. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Yeah, the ops are fans, but and I don't even got. Let me say this. So let's back up. I don't have no more ops. If I'm, you may consider me the ops. I don't have any ops. Not if you black. I just don't. It's like what we opposing. So that's why I'm gonna start with that. I want y'all to. Hey man, Carrie K. Steele is the truth. So much so historically, some historic stuff is happening as we speak. And I just want y'all to know, no permanent friends, no permanent enemies. We just got to get ourselves in the deals. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, y'all. I got to get up out of here. So, for Riis, Ruthie, and me, Maze, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. Every single day, we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Yeah, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on their body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same